All right, good evening, everybody.
Good evening.
Welcome to the City of Arcola City Council regular meeting for Tuesday, May 13th, 2025, beginning at 6 p.m. at Arcola City Hall, located at 13222 Highway 6, Arcola, Texas, 77583, for the purpose of considering the following items. The City Council of the City of Arcola, Texas reserves the right to meet in closed session on any of the below items should the need arise and if applicable pursuant to the authorization by Title V, Chapter 551 of the Texas Government Code. I now call our meeting to order at 6 p.m. and announce that we do have a quorum. Tonight's invocation will be led by Councilmember Rosemary Bigby, followed by the Pledge of Allegiance by Florence Jackson. We will stand.
Can we stand and bow our heads, please? Lord, we thank you for letting us assemble today and hope that everyone is in a good mood and we can have a nice and invasive, what is that the word, invasive or whatever, meeting and no interruptions. And I hope that everyone gets to say what they want to say and do it in a pleasant tone. Amen.
Amen. I pledge allegiance to the flag of the United States of America and to the republic for which it stands, one nation, under God, indivisible, with liberty and justice for all.
At this time, we'll have roll call. Councilmember Ellen Jones.
Here.
Councilmember Greg Abar.
Here.
Mayor Pro Tem Ebony Sanko.
Present.
Councilmember Rosemary Bigby.
Here.
Councilmember Florence Jackson.
Present.
Also present is David Olson, our city attorney, Ingrid Flournoy, city secretary, and Dr. Annette Goldberg, our city administrator. At this time, we will have public comments from the audience. Citizens who desire to address the city council with comments of a general nature will be received at this time. You will have, these comments will be limited to 3 minutes, provided that any member of the public who addresses the city council through a translator, you will have 6 minutes. In accordance with the Texas Open Meetings Act, the city council is restricted from discussing or taking any action on the items not listed on the agenda. It is our policy to have all speakers identify themselves when making comments. City Secretary, Madam Secretary, do we have any public comments?
Yes, Mayor.
Okay.
We have Ms. Shireen Dahani on behalf of In-House Smoke Shop and Daiquiri, requesting for a variance to municipal code concerning sale of alcohol in same center as daycare.
Good evening, honorable city council members. I am here. Is the mic picking me up?
Yes.
So I am here on behalf of In-House Smoke and Daiquiris, and we are requesting a variance from the city ordinance that prohibits a business that sells alcohol to be operating within 300 feet of a daycare center. In-House Smoke and Daiquiris has signed a lease for a premises at 13630 Highway 6, so just down the road. They signed that lease back in November of 2022, and they have built out those premises to function as a smoke shop and to sell alcohol, and they were able to get a TABC license. They always intended for that business to function as both the sale of like tobacco products and alcohol, but when they were submitting permits to the city, there was no space that specifically asked what the use was, or otherwise they would have gladly told you. And since then, the city has denied their certificate of occupancy because a daycare has also submitted permits to function in that same shopping center. The smoke shop has invested a significant amount of time and money into that business and would have a significant loss of revenue if they were not allowed to also sell alcohol in the premises. We have spoken with the daycare center, with the tenant who has plans to open up the daycare center. They are fine with a smoke shop also selling alcohol in the same center, and the smoke shop is completely open to abiding by all rules and regulations and laws of the state of Texas and the city of Arcola when it comes to prohibiting the sale of alcohol and smoke products to minors or any other rules and regulations that the city council might want to have. But Denial of the variance would be a significant loss of revenue for them, because then they would not be able to also sell alcohol, which would be a huge chunk of their projected revenue. For their part, they have already started paying rent, even though they are not open, which includes them paying a portion towards property taxes, and they would like to be able to open and be a functioning business in this community. And so we are respectfully requesting that the city council grant a variance for this business.
Thank you. Madam Secretary, do you have any other public comments?
No, Mayor.
At this time, we will have consent and regular agenda item comments. So any citizen who desires to address the city council with regards to matters that are on the consent or regular agenda may do so at this time. Will be limited to 3 minutes. If you're in need of a translator, you will have up to 6 minutes. Madam Secretary, do we have any?
No, Mayor.
So moving on, city council members. Notice is hereby given in accordance with section 551.0415 of the Texas Government Code. The city council of the city of Arcola may receive reports about items of community interest from city staff and their members of the city council. Although no action or possible action shall be taken or discussed concerning the subject at such time, except as provided by section 501.042. Councilmember Jones, do you have any comments?
No.
Councilmember Abel?
No comments, Mayor.
Mayor Pro Tem?
Okay.
Councilman?
No.
And neither do I have any comments at this time, so. So what we shall do at this time, we will move on to canvassing of the election, and taking action on the ordinance for, canvassing the returns and declaring the results of the general election held on May 3rd, 2025. And David, did you wanna?
I'm happy to. Basically, this is required by law for you to canvass the actual results of the election. As you know, there was a tie in one of the positions, and there will be a secondary election held on June 7th, but there's an ordinance later on to address that.
Okay.
This is simply reflecting the election that was held on May 3rd.
Okay, and for, what is your position one?
Position 1, Mr. Greg Abar,
Okay.
and position 3, Mrs. Evelyn.
So as we know, for position 1, Councilmember Abar won that seat. Position 3, Councilmember Jones won was reelected for her seat, and there was a tie for position 5, which will have a runoff and we'll talk about that a little bit later. We'll have a runoff election coming up in June. So at this time, what we'll do is administer the oath of office.
I think we go ahead and just pass the ordinance, and once that's passed, we canvass the election results, we
Okay.
can then swear them in.
Okay. Okay, so can I get an action taken on the ordinance for canvassing the elections, please? For approval?
I make a motion to approve the ordinance of the city council of the city of Arcola, Texas, canvassing the return and declaring the results of the general election held on May 3rd, 2025.
Can I get a second?
Second.
Motion has been made by Mayor Pro Tem Sanko, second by Councilmember Bigby. All in favor?
Aye.
All opposed? Okay, the ordinance has been accepted. Now we will move on to administering the oath of office to Councilmember Abar, as well as Councilmember Jones. If you all would step forward. City Secretary will take oath from there.
Y'all come so we can see y'all.
I want you on camera.
Right in the middle here.
You can refuse, yeah.
Yeah.
You can vote.
Okay. Oh, you can do them both at the same time?
Yes.
Okay.
Okay.
Raise your hand. In the name and by the authority of the state of Texas, I
I, Craig Abel,
I, Evelyn Jones,
do solemnly swear
do solemnly swear
that I will faithfully execute the duties of the office
that I will faithfully execute the duties of the office,
of council member,
Councilman,
position
position 1
Councilmember position 3,
of the state of Texas and with
of the state of Texas,
of the state of Texas,
State of Texas,
and with to the best of my ability
and to
and to the best of my ability,
preserve,
preserve,
protect,
protect,
and
and
defend
defend
the Constitution
the Constitution
and laws of the United States,
and the laws of the United States,
of this state,
of this state,
so help me God.
so help me God.
All right.
For a little housekeeping. Thank you, Councilmember Hayward, Councilmember
Thank you.
Jones. Thank you. All right, congratulations. In terms of the next item, in terms of electing Mayor Pro Tem, can I entertain a motion from the council to table this and to act with the runoff election?
Yeah, I make a motion, that, second.
Was that your motion?
What was it?
I make a motion that we tailor the mayor, pro tem to the next meeting.
Motion has been made to table the election of a Mayor Pro Tem, made by Councilmember Councilmember Bigby, second by Councilmember Jones. All in favor?
Aye.
All opposed? Okay, the motion is passed. Next, I'd like to get action taken on an ordinance in the city of Arcola calling for a second election, a runoff election for Saturday, June 7th, to fill the councilmember position number 5.
I make a motion to approve the second election runoff for Saturday, June 7th, 2025.
Second.
Motion has been made by Mayor Pro Tem Ebony Sanko, second by Councilmember Jones. All in favor?
Aye.
All opposed? Ordinance is passed. We'll now move to the consent agenda. All these items on the consent agenda are considered to be routine by the city council and will be enacted by one motion. I would like to have consideration and action on the approval of the minutes of the regular meeting from April 8th, 2025, and the special meeting on April 29th, 2025.
So I'll make a motion to approve the minutes, the regular meeting of April 8th, 2025, and the special meeting on April 29th, 2025.
Second.
Motion has been made by Mayor Pro Tem Sanko, second by Councilmember Jones. All in favor?
Aye.
All opposed? The motion is passed. The next item number 7, under items number 8, presentations. This is information only, no action will be taken, except that this first one, Municipal Traffic Safety Initiatives Award recognition to Arcola Municipal Courts. I would like to take the time to announce that the Texas Municipal Courts Education Center's Municipal Traffic Safety Initiatives Grant, funded by the Texas Department of Transportation, recently sponsored a traffic safety awards competition to recognize those municipal courts that have demonstrated outstanding contributions to traffic safety and preventing impaired driving in their community. TMCEC was formed in 1984 to provide professional continuing education and training programs for municipal judges and court personnel throughout Texas. The TMCEC is the largest judicial education organization in Texas and one of the largest such organizations in the U.S. All municipal courts in Texas were eligible to apply for an award from TMCEC. Applicants were judged on their activities relating to increasing traffic safety while preventing impaired driving, traffic crashes, traffic fatalities, juvenile DUI, child safety seat offenses, red light running, and other traffic-related offenses. The Arcola Municipal Court received an MTSI Honorable Mention Award for their commitment to traffic safety. The court participated in several events organized around National Night Out, including a raffle and National Night Out event at a city park where the court exhibited a booth with traffic safety materials. There was also a demonstration of child safety seat height and weight requirements. McGruff the Crime Dog made a special appearance, and the city was recognized for its efforts by TMCEC on April 3rd, 2025 at the AC Hotel downtown Waco. At this time, I would like our municipal court, all of our municipal court staff to come up and receive their award for outstanding municipal traffic safety. Ms. Rosemary Bell is the director of our municipal courts, and Esmeralda is, you gotta tell you your position, title. Deputy Court Clerk, and also Sergeant Miller. Thank you all about all the work that y'all do for us in the city of Arcola. I appreciate you. Thank you for all your work, and I appreciate y'all. Thank you.
That's what they do.
At this time, we'll have our monthly permits report by Lanisha Garrett, the permit manager.
Mayor, council, and all those present, good evening.
Good evening.
I am here to report the monthly permits report for the month of April 2025. In the month of April, we issued 117 permits, which consisted of 7 building permits, 22 electrical permits, 1 fence permit, 1 builder permit, 1 food truck, 60 mechanical permits, 18 plumbing permits, 2 sign permits, 3 water sewer checks, and 1 water sewer tap, for a total of 117 for the month of April 2025. Are there any questions? Okay, thank you.
Thank you. Thank you, Lanisha.
Thank you.
At this time, we have our city engineers report. Mr. Lawrence Turner, Calusa Inc.
Good afternoon, everyone. Excuse me. You have my report that is attached. I'll run through the projects. Right now, we have the sanitary sewer evaluation and rehabilitation. That's going to always be on this list because we're always trying to look for holes in our sanitary sewer system and trying to plug and fix those things whenever we get an opportunity to. Under the engineering design projects, which one is about to move to construction, the Arcola water plant expansion. We have set a pre-construction schedule is set for May 20th. We'll do our pre-con. At that time, we'll decide when they'll do a notice to proceed. But, and I would imagine it would be the first part of June. That's the ground storage tank, booster pumps, portion of that project right there. The next project is the wastewater treatment plant expansion, permit expansion. That's the ultimate 4.1. It's still at TCEQ. There's nothing we can nothing we can do but wait on TCQ to go through their process to give us the ultimate permit expansion. The next item on there is the current construction expansion, which is going to be for 450,000 gallons. We've already opened up bids, issued it to Industrial TX Corporation. Contracts have been signed. There's a pre-construction meeting set up for that one coming up pretty quick within the next 2 weeks. We're gonna have that pre-construction and get a notice to proceed issued on that. Of course, that project is basically Freshwater One's, and so we'll make sure that we send to Freshwater One. Not only do they get copies of the contract, the plans, but every step along the way, we walk hand in hand with these balls. You know, we want to make sure that they know what's going on because they're writing the check. And so even though it's our plant, I always feel it's very important that whoever's signing that check know what they're writing the check for, and know what they're paying for. So that's with regards to that expansion there. On the sanitary sewer side, again, on the North Pine sanitary sewer replacement, that's the manhole rehab that we're doing, along with replacing a segment of that water line. We got some issues with that sanitary sewer lift station. We've got our survey field work. We're working on getting the plans together, and by the time we get to the next meeting, we hope to have plans out for bids and advertising and what have you for that portion of it. The last item that I want to talk about is the 521 roadway project utility relocation. We've gotten our survey work on that, and we're just working through the design process. That concludes my report. I'll entertain any questions that anybody have of me as it relates to my report. All right. Thank y'all very much.
Mr. Kern. Next item. I felt a bell was coming on, I'm sorry. State of the city, Mayor Williams, and let me just state that a couple of things that I'd like to just pass on to everybody is that I know that over in Poso Point there was some issues with 18-wheelers parking along the roadway and in places they shouldn't be parking. And the city of Arcola did post the signs out there to let everybody know that those is prohibited from parking along the roadway. And I think they said right down 521 there's a yard where people can park, and they do have to pay to park, but nevertheless they can park their 18-wheelers down the street on 521. And also, just to let everybody know, and just to make this, put it on record, the city of Arcola, although it's a public space, there are restricted areas that the general public just cannot just traverse back and forth on a regular. Over in our parking lot where our cars are parked, that area is a restricted area. Around in the back where the police cars and stuff are, that's a restricted area as well. We will be looking at ways to put signs up and also to kind of put gates up to recognize, to let people know that those are restricted areas. Over in our maintenance, inside the fence over there, that's a restricted area, so anybody just can't go back and forth. I just want to put that on the record, that those are restricted areas. And those areas will be marked going forward. The last thing I'd like to let everybody know, because I've gotten a couple calls from residents wanting to build in the city of Arcola. At this time, presently, as of today, we do not have available sewer connections for people coming in wanting to build. The city of Arcola does not have access to that capacity at the moment. However, we are in the process of participating in an expansion to provide that service to residents and to businesses, and we are also working with partners to secure some of those connections. So it's a possibility that those some can become available, but at this moment, as of right now, we do not have that capacity. So I just wanted to let you know, because people think that they just come out, they have land and they want to build. But if we don't have the service to provide to them, we cannot do that at the time. So just wanted to let you know. So as far as the state of the city going forward, we are moving forward and we are getting ready to address some serious issues that many of our residents have been dealing with for a very long time in terms of drainage. That's a little bit further down on the agenda. But just know that the city of Arcola has been out and about throughout the community, talking to the residents, trying to find out what those needs are. And we have a plan to address it. And in the next upcoming month, we will be looking at those certificates of obligation to fulfill those requests and address those needs. So we're moving on behalf of the people, and so just know that.
When will be the next chance that we'll be able to stay in the sewer?
We are in the process right now. We've already got our partners together, and we are getting an interlocal agreement together, and you know it's just we're moving forward right now at this moment. Yes. Okay. So, if any questions on my state of the city? Okay. All right. So right now we'll move on to our regular agenda items. All these items are for discussion, consideration, and possible action. So we go to agenda item 9A, action to approve the March 2025 municipal operations and consultant report. Mr. Rowland, yeah.
Good afternoon, Mayor, Council, everyone here. Y'all should have a copy of your operator's report in front of you. We're looking at billing period between March 20th to April 21st. We had a total of 968 connections, 17 of those being vacant. To the right, total sewer count was 1,911, 688 being a fresh water one. Just below, we're looking at the gallons produced by your well was 6,054,000 gallons. Gallons billed was 5,766,000, which put us at a 95% accountability. To the right is your delinquents. We're looking at water and sewer accounts of 88 delinquent accounts, sewer only 48 delinquent accounts. Just below, your revenue total was $117,563 with 57 cents. Just below your wastewater treatment plant, it's operating at 55% permitted capacity. It's been sampled and in compliance. If you turn your page, we're looking at your wastewater sewer treatment plant. Right to the left, you'll see there in yellow, you'll see the total gallons per day. To the middle, final CO2, your chlorine residual. To the far right is your gallons from fresh water one. Below, the total flow in gallons for this billing period was 11,442,000 gallons. Our average flow was 369,000 gallons and 97. If you turn your page, we're looking at your DM. Once again, the main thing that we look at is the E. coli. We were in compliance, well in compliance with a 1.0. That's all I have on the operator's report, unless you have a question.
We had a TCEQ inspection recently, right? And how did that go?
Our TCEQ inspection, it went really well. We had no violations at the plant. Everything went as planned. The plant is looking really good. Everything was, when the inspector came out, they found everything, including the outfall and the receiving stream, to be good. So we did really well in that.
Okay. Well, thank you.
If y'all have no questions on the operator report, we can move on to your CCR. Your CCR is your consumer customer report, your consumer confidence report. This is done annually by TCEQ. There's some good information. This will also be available to your customers as well. The first two is just information. It's good for y'all to, when y'all have a chance to read, because there are tips and all that. But if you turn to page 3, you're going to see the water quality data. It'll look like this. Just keep in mind that when these contaminants are sampled, they are not picked by MOC. This is picked by the state of Texas through TCEQ, and they go out and do an independent test. We don't know they go and do this. They report back with their findings, and then they build this report for the customers to have. So when we're looking at this, the first row of contaminants, your trihalomethanes. To the left is gonna be the year, just to the right is gonna be the contaminant that was sampled. Just to the right is what was sampled, so they sampled a 6. To the range of what it is, 6.2 to 6.2, but to the right of that is your MCO, which is your maximum contaminant level. So the maximum you could have is an 8, we were well below that. And to the right, you'll see violation, far right was a no violations. To just below that, your disinfection residual, they found us to have a 1.66. Your maximum residual level was a 4, we were no violations there. Below your lead and copper. Copper, once again, the 90th percentile, we're 0.203. Your accounted for level was at a 1.3. You could not be above that. We were in no violation once again. Your lead, same as well, 1.4. 15 was the amount you could not surpass. We had no violations. Your inorganic contaminants, these were taken in 23, as you can see. They were arsenic, barium, and fluoride. Your highest level detected for arsenic was 6.3, maximum contaminant level was 10, no violations. Just below barium, 0.353, maximum contaminant level 2, no violation. Fluoride, 1.4, highest level detected. Maximum contaminant level was a 4, no violations. So that's all I have on the CCR. If when your attorney has an opportunity to look at it and it needs an approval with it, and this will be also made available to the customers of the city of Arcola. And that's all I have for you. Thank you.
Thank you, Governor. At this time, can I entertain a motion on the acceptance of the report from Mr. Leal?
I make a motion that we approve the March 2025 municipal operation report by Mr. Rowan. Second.
Motion has been made by Councilmember Jones, second by Mayor Pro Tem Franco. All in favor?
Aye.
All opposed? Motion's passed. Action to approve the, so that would be action to approve the financial reports for March 2025, Dr. Annette Goldberg.
Mayor and Council, good evening. I'll be providing the bookkeeper's report as well as the general fund and the enterprise. I'll start with the bookkeeper's report. This is what it looks like. For the month ending February 2028, we actually have 5 accounts in what we call Frost Bank, that's checking account. In February 2028, we had a balance of $2,023,124. The month ending March 31, we had an ending balance of $1,731,891. As you can see, there's a decrease of $291,233. The reason for that is that money was moved over to the tax pool account, or what we refer to as a savings account. That current interest rate is 4.30. So we want to be sure that we look at our checking accounts often, and where there's excessive money, we move it to the savings account so that we can capture that interest rate of 4.3. So in the tax pool, we have 6 accounts. The ending balance in February was $7,282,178. Ending balance in March was $7,554,422. As you can see, we have a total asset of $9,305,303 at the end of February. For the end of March, we have a total asset of $9,286,313. From there, I'll move over to the general fund for the month of March. This is what it looks like. I will report the March numbers, and I will also report year-to-date. Year-to-date would represent October 24 through March of 25. The total amount in the general fund for revenue for the month of March, we actually received $258,980 versus budget of $389,178. Year-to-date for revenue. Year-to-date would be October 24 to March 25. Actual revenue received is $2,913,782 versus the budget of $2,335,069. As you can see, we exceeded the revenue for this time frame. Then I'll go straight to the total expenditures, which is on page 7. Total expenditures for the month of March. Actuals are $283,932 versus the month of March for the budget, $389,178. Year-to-date, which is again October 24 to March 25, the actual expenditures are $2,451,436 versus the budget for that same time frame of $2,335,069. As you can see, our net revenue for year-to-date is $462,346. With that, I'll go over the enterprise for the month of March. We'll have enterprise on the top left. Total revenue for the month of March is $1,139,832 versus the budget of $282,786. Year-to-date for revenue is $2,770,351 versus year-to-date for that same time frame, $1,696,724. You go to page 2, I'll review the total expenditures. The total expenditures for the month of March, our actuals are $88,463 versus budget of $282,787. Year-to-date, actuals are $978,483 versus year-to-date budget of $1,696,730. As you can see, the net revenue located at the bottom is $1,791,861. That concludes my report.
Included in that, is the land sale, right?
Correct. The land sale for the TxDOT, which is $1,046,000, that was transferred over to the enterprise department.
Any questions? Well, if not, can I entertain a motion on the acceptance of the financial report for the month of March?
Make a motion to approve March 2025 financial report from Annette Goldman.
Second. Motion has been made by Mayor Pro Tem, second by Councilmember Digby. All in favor? All opposed? The motion's passed.
Thank you.
Item C, action to approve the tax increment reinvestment zone number 1, 2024 annual report. Councilman Raybar, was yesterday, was that updated or was that?
It was correct.
It was corrected, okay.
I looked at it and the values were the actual tax values, not the total value of the property.
Okay, so, if you
So
wouldn't
the
mind.
report was correct.
Okay. So would you mind, just refreshing?
Sure. This report is for, the TERS that exists in the city, which is the tax reinvestment zone. This report is due every year, and we have a consultant, Ron Cox, that works with the city to generate this report. But basically, it gives the general information, who the city council was, who the board of directors were, the description of the zone with maps showing the areas where the TERS is located. It has a little paragraph about the purpose of the zone, why the zone was established in the first place, basically for economic development for the city of Arcola. It gives some charts showing the tax revenue that's generated by the TERS on a yearly basis, and also historical values. And it also shows the outstanding debt of the TERS. And it has a little chart that shows the indebtedness schedule. And that's about it. So, and this report, if approved by council, will be sent out to all the different entities, and as our obligation to those entities within the state.
Okay. Are there any questions, council? On the report? I can entertain a motion for approval. Can I entertain a motion to approve the TERS zone 2024 annual report?
I'll make a motion to approve the, tax increment reinvestment zone for 2024 and the annual report.
Second.
Motion has been made by Mayor Pro Tem Sanko, second by Councilmember Bigby. All in favor?
Aye.
All opposed? The motion has been passed. Next, we'll move on to plans, plats, and permits. Discussion, consideration, and possible action to accept a petition to consent to annexation to include additional land at 902 Post Road in the Charleston Municipal Utility District. And authorize staff to draft an annexation ordinance concerning the same. Okay, Mr. Turner, please.
Good afternoon, and I apologize for my raspy voice. Son graduated with his PhD in nutrition from the Mecca Howard University. So, proud Papa, yelling Papa for sure. But back to the business at hand. We received a request from Mr. Carl Allred. I believe Mr. Allred, I saw him back there this evening, who's representing the land developer. This is an existing tract of 16.6 acres that's over on, excuse me, over on Post Road. This is Charleston Mud is to the far west. The, I'm gonna call it the RV, not RV, but the modular homes is on the east side, and the 16 acres is in the center. The request is for consideration of this body to allow them to annex into Charleston Mud. Charleston Mud will be providing them the infrastructure, water, sanitary sewer. That plat that they would have to do would still come before this body, so you'll still get an opportunity to review what's going on. I've asked the applicant to give us an idea, which it does not affect your decision, but I always think it's better for me to have the answers. So if someone asks me, well, what are they looking at doing over there? Even though that does not affect and come into play into your decision, I will tell you that based on the sketch, they're looking at doing a multifamily over there in that area. I asked that question, so I'll know, so if someone asks me. There's nothing out of the ordinary on that request that they're doing. You've done that before for other areas, Glendale Lakes. When they expanded, they had to come in to this body and ask for a consent for annexation. So it's not something that you've done before. You've done this before. It's just a matter of you taking it under consideration and allowing them to go to them in their mud district. It's in your ETJ, it's not in your city limits. And so, I don't know if David, you want to add anything to it? Is there anything you need to add?
Before they can move forward with TCQ, we have to consent to their petition.
Yeah.
It's within our area that we can have control over.
I'll entertain any questions that you may have of me as it relates to that matter. All right.
Otherwise, I'd like to entertain a motion on the petition.
And the motion would be to consent to the
annexation.
petition for annexation, correct?
Yes, exactly. Petition by annexation into the Charleston Municipal Utility District.
Can I make a motion to accept a petition to consent to annexation to include additional land 902 Post Road in the Charleston Municipal Utility Mud District, authorizing staff to draft an annexation ordinance?
We don't need the second part.
Don't need to
Okay.
vote.
Yeah, just a consent.
Okay.
We consent. Make a motion to consent.
Second.
Motion has been made to accept the petition by Councilmember Jones, second by Councilmember Bigby. All in favor?
Aye.
All opposed? The petition is passed. Contracts and agreements. Number 11A, discussion, consideration of, and action on engaging in a contract with Texas Drainage for ditch and drainage work in the city of Arcola. Attorney David Olson.
Okay, and Larry may want to jump to D, leave. So essentially, the reason why I'm talking about this, like we discussed yesterday, is there was concern that this would require engineering. But once the scope of work was run by the city engineer, this is purely a maintenance project and up for your consideration.
And based on everything that you all heard on yesterday, I'd like to entertain a motion for approval of this contract with Texas Drainage.
I'll make a motion to approve, engaging in a contract with Texas Drainage for the ditches and drainage work.
Second.
Motion has been made by Mayor Pro Tem Senko, second by Councilmember Jones. All in favor?
Aye.
All opposed? Motion is passed. Section 12, ordinances. Under A, action to amend ordinance number 2020-06-116, the code of ordinances relating to the city's investment plan. So basically, we are amending and updating the investment plan.
This would be our annual review of our investment policy, is that
Absolutely,
correct?
that's correct. Council, can I entertain a motion? Y'all, remember y'all, all of these, we need a motion to move forward, to go to the next one.
Okay.
All right.
I make a motion to amend ordinance number 2020-06-16 in an ordinance of the City Council of the City of Arcola, Texas, amending subchapter E of the Code of Ordinance of the City of Arcola, Texas, relating to the city's investment plans and strategy, approving the city's investment policy and investment strategy, adopting additional provision for depositories containing findings and provision related to the subject, providing for servability, providing for repeal, and providing for an effective date.
Motion has been made by Councilmember Jones, second by Mayor Pro Tem Senko. All in favor?
Aye.
All opposed? Motion is passed. Item B, discussion, consideration of possible action to approve an ordinance of the City Council of Arcola, Texas, is reestablishing the residence homestead and also the over 65 and the disabled persons exemptions for applicable property owners in the City of Arcola. You have a question?
Yeah. This wasn't always, or did?
This is just annually, it'll be updated.
Yeah, every year, the appraisal
Every year,
district
yes.
requires us to reaffirm exemptions that we apply to our tax base, so.
Okay,
We did it last year.
somebody do every year.
Okay, I'll make a motion to approve the city ordinance of, the ordinance of the City of Arcola, Texas, reestablishing the residence homestead over 65 disabled persons homestead exemptions.
Second.
Motion has been made by Mayor Pro Tem Senko, second by Councilmember Bigby. All in favor? All opposed? The motion is passed. Discussion, consideration of, and possible action to amend ordinance number 2023-03-14. Amending the ordinance to align with the updated fee schedule from December 2024.
And this is, what fees for what?
So what we're doing is on this, we're amending, amending the ordinance, this ordinance, which will basically, it'll align with the fee schedule changes that we made back in December. The ordinance was already established, right? But we didn't update the ordinance at that time. So now, we're gonna update the ordinance to reflect the same thing in the updated fee schedule from December.
Okay, for the water fee.
And
I was just gonna say, this is a housekeeping matter. We've already approved these changes. We need the ordinance, which has the teeth to reflect the changes we made in December.
Okay,
what I just said, yeah, thank you.
I'll make a
Okay, sure.
motion.
I'm sorry.
What you asking, Sarah?
Yeah, I make a motion and possible actions to amend ordinance number 23-03-14, amending and establishing rate, fees, charges, and policies for water and wastewater utility service, amending the code of ordinances and
Contain finance provisions relating to the subject.
okay.
Second.
Motion has been made by Councilmember Biggie, second by Councilmember Jones, all in favor?
Aye.
All opposed? So the motion is passed. At this time, the city council will convene into closed executive session as authorized under section 551.071 of the Texas Government Code for consultation with attorney. Time is now, what is that now? 6:50 p.m. Chief, the council.
I have everyone still out, you can wait in the community center until they come back for executive session.
It is now 7:21 p.m. and we will reconvene back into regular session. And I would like to entertain a motion for adjournment.
Motion to adjourn.
Second.
Time is now 7:21 p.m. We are received a motion by Mayor Pro Tem Senko, second by Councilmember Jones. We are hereby adjourned.
All in favor?
All in favor?
Aye.
All opposed?
Mm.
All right. Meeting adjourned.